Hey guys, George MGR Performance here. This engine, I'm building it for my personal car. I did a small video previously. We're ready to start machining the block. It's a 5.3 Gen 4 aluminum block. We did 1/2-inch stud conversion for better clamping. I showed the previous video that I notched the top of the cylinders for the bigger valves. We're using a 208 intake valve on the Pro Max 245 cathedral port and a 157.5 on the exhaust. We're gonna cut the block 30. We're gonna be a 3.810 bore size. So the head start, I hot tanked the block, cleaned everything. After obviously we did the 1/2-inch conversion. It was done on a CNC mill. Then I installed my 1/2-inch studs, torque all the mains down to size up my housing. This main here and this main here are looser by 4 to 5 tenths here, 2 tenths here, 2 tenths here. So we have to sand the cap here. We have to sand the cap there, cut the cap a little bit so the cap can lower itself. And then we're just gonna give 1-2 shots of line hone just to freshen it up, and we're gonna be within 1-2 tenths. I mean, 1/2 thou is unacceptable. 2 tenths, 3 tenths, okay, but not 1/2 thou. So we're gonna fix that. It's gonna be bored home with torque plates. I'll show you guys what parts I'm using. This setup is gonna run a 94 104 precision ball bearing turbo. It's good for 1800 horsepower. That's what we're shooting for. For a crankshaft, we're using a 4-inch crank, 4340 from K1. I'm using their HD H-beam rod. This is a budget setup for like an engine that's gonna make 15 to 1800 horsepower. It's very basic stuff. It's pretty much like a good build street engine. Stock block, main studs, half-inch head stud conversion. This engine will be literally able to drive on the street, go to Florida and back. You know what I mean? The only thing that's gonna be make it into a racing engine is the fact that it's gonna have a 94 mil turbo on it, and we're gonna try to jump 30-40 pounds of boost into it. These are the cylinder heads that I've done. They're the Pro Max 245s. I did my own profile valve job and a ball blend. And if you can see here, I softened the chamber a bit, which I refaced the heads. So we're gonna have to do it again. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna reface the heads again because I don't like the finish on them. It needs to be like a mirror. And here, I'm not happy with the finish. So we're gonna reface the heads, just minimum, just to get them perfectly like that. You know what I mean? Valve job, we're using the stock valves. The pistons are nothing crazy. They're made by Wiseco, but it's a Summit Racing piston. It's nice and beefy. The only thing is I got upgraded pins from Wiseco, thicker wall for the boosted application. And I got their steel top ring, Napier second, standard tension oil ring. We're pretty much ready to start the machining process. It's gonna be a 364 cubic inch. 364 cubic inch, and I believe the compression is gonna be run with an intercooler, C16, And if I'm not mistaken, I'm 10.5 to 1 compression, the setup that I did. With an MGR Stage 3 Turbo Specs camshaft. And I'll show you the process once we start machining the block. As you can see here, I made space because my ck10 honing machine is gonna go here. We're receiving it tomorrow. So I might do some videos on that once I get set up, because I gotta bring new power for it and all that stuff. And yeah, so next step, machining, decking, boring hole torque plates, decking the block. That will be one of my buddies. That's a full equipped machine shop that's gonna do that for me. And I give him quite a few jobs. And as the time goes by, I'm getting more and more machine in-house myself. But again, I can't have a full machine shop and being the only person operating all the machines, disassembling engines, building engines. You can only do so much by yourself. And good help is hard to find. So if you build a whole machine shop so you can depend on employees, I don't think it's a great idea, to be honest with you. My personal opinion. George MGR Performance, a small video on my personal 5.3. That's gonna be a 364 cubic inch, flat top piston. Actually, it's a minute, it's a flat top with a minimum dish. I don't know if you can see it. You see that? It's to take away the quench. The only quench pad is gonna be that all around that you see. That's pretty much the quench pad. The rest is like a softening. It's kind of like softening the head, so it's gonna help with a tune-up and everything. Thanks for watching, guys. This is the second video today. I was just cleaning the shop. We got the forklift here. I just had a client pick up his engine. We're trying to, tomorrow we're gonna bring the machine and we're gonna install it here. And I gotta reorganize the shop a bit again. And the next step, we're changing the milling there with a newer model. That's gonna be in 2 weeks. And we'll keep on moving forward. We'll keep on improving ourselves. We'll keep on making our stuff better. I mean, we had the smaller bench. Now we got the bigger bench. You know, we try to make things as good as possible. This is the engine assembly room here. The biggest mistake that I did is when I did this floor, I decided to do it white. And now so many years later, you know, when you're assembling a motor, oil drops and you step on it, and this summer, when I get a chance, I want to rip the whole floor out and do a different concept on the floor that I can maintain, because the color that I did, it was not realistic to have a white floor. You know what I mean? We live in Canada. Sometimes I got to go outside. It snows. There's mud. We don't live in California here. You know what I mean? Our weather is very extreme. It could go from -20 snowstorm to the next day it's the +10 degrees and it's slush everywhere. So we don't have the exact greatest temperatures over here. So on the other video that I did earlier, I fixed the rocker with a new shaft. So that's good. This I gotta do the heads. This one here, all my clearances are all set up. I showed you out of the previous video. I blueprinted the oil pump. It's all taken apart. This is the one he had. It looks good. My pan is ready. Clean torque Loctite. All my stands are cleaned. ARP lube on all the bolts. So I'm ready for assembly. I lined up all my bolts here. The lifters for this engine, they're in braking lube. Getting ready for the final assembly. I mean, I'm ahead of my game. All my covers are all washed, everything. I'm just waiting because I had bearings and I have shelved another job. So I only had for 4 connecting rods. So I'm waiting for new bearings to come in because I ran out of bearings, to be honest. I have, but they're HX. It gives me too much clearance. So we're 2.6, 2.6, 2.4, 2.4. And then I'm going to do this ones here. All my pistons are mic'd. Everything is good. We're ready to go. We're ready to go, boys. We're ready to go. Thanks for watching. Another day at MGR Performance. And tomorrow I'm going to post a video when we get our new honing machine over here. Well, it's not a new machine. It's new to us. But it's a very well-maintained ck10 Sonnen. And this is my engine, hopefully, that I'm going to get to run next year. And I'm going to turn this thing up on 40 pounds, 35 pounds, whatever it takes. Thanks for watching. MGR Performance. Hit a like, subscribe. More videos to come.